All right, so today we're diving deep into the Talent Aligned Handbook. And look, if you've ever wanted to see what it looks like when a company treats your career like a science, with precision and a clear plan, then you're going to want to see this. We're going to break down exactly how Talent Aligned built a system where your success is anything but an accident.
In this one sentence, this is it. This is the key to their entire philosophy. This isn't about luck or just kind of hoping for the best. It's a system that's literally engineered for predictable success. And believe me, that one idea changes everything. So let's see what that actually looks like in practice.
And here it is. This isn't just some vague corporate ladder. Think of this as a detailed roadmap for your entire adventure with the company. From the moment you walk in the door, every turn, every milestone, every destination, it's all clearly marked out for you. So, let's start by walking that path together. What does the journey from an entry-level spot all the way up to leadership actually look like? Well, it's a real journey of transformation. You start out as an administrative consultant, where it's all about building those core skills, the bedrock of your whole career. And the destination? Becoming a managing partner, where your whole focus flips from your own performance to lifting up the entire team and shaping the company's culture. I mean, that's a massive leap, right? So how do you actually get there? Well, the journey really kicks off with the associate consultant role. And notice this right away. The goal is crystal clear, a target of $20,000 a month in new business. This isn't some fuzzy objective. It's a specific, measurable milestone. This is where you start taking real ownership. Once you hit that, you move up to consultant, and the target bumps up to $25,000. Now at this stage, the expectations shift a little. You're not just learning the ropes anymore. You're expected to be a confident, independent operator, taking full commercial ownership of your work. Next up, senior consultant. And this is a really crucial shift. Yeah, the financial target goes up to $30,000, but it's not just about the money anymore. Now you've got to pair that high performance with real strategic influence. You're starting to become a leader. Hitting that $35,000 target to become a partner, well, that means you've evolved again. You're now a true revenue leader. And just as important, you're seen as a cultural pillar for the business. You're shaping strategy and mentoring the next generation. And finally, we get to managing partner. A $40,000 target is basically the key that unlocks the door to building and leading your very own team. This is where you go from being a top player to being the coach that multiplies everyone else's performance. Okay, so hitting those targets sounds intense, right? But here's the thing. It is absolutely not a solo mission. There's a whole support system, and it's called strategic coaching. Just think of it as your personal guide, helping you read that map we just looked at. So let's be super clear about what strategic coaching is, and maybe more importantly, what it isn't. It is not your manager calling you in because something went wrong. Nope. It's a proactive, data-driven system designed to optimize your performance. It's all about getting better, all the time. And I love this analogy because it's just perfect. Elite athletes don't just try harder. No way. They analyze every tiny piece of data to find an edge. Talent Aligned takes that same exact discipline and applies it to your career. So when does this coaching actually happen? It's not random. It's triggered at 3 very specific moments. When you're onboarding, to get you started on the right foot. When you're overperforming, to figure out what's working so you can do more of it. And when you're underperforming, to diagnose the problem and get you back on track. It's a constant feedback loop. And this is the key question, isn't it? It's great to have a coach, but how does all this coaching actually translate into climbing that ladder? Well, it's because promotions here aren't just about hitting a single number. They're based on this whole suite of factors. They're looking at consistent performance, how well you control your pipeline, your leadership behaviors, even your commercial maturity. Strategic coaching is what gives them the evidence for all of it. It makes getting promoted predictable, not political. Okay, so we've seen the path and we've met the guide. Now let's talk about the fuel. What powers this entire journey? Well, it all comes down to one absolutely critical metric, O2, which stands for opportunities to business. I mean, what a powerful way to put it. O2 is the oxygen. Without it, your performance, your desk, everything, it just suffocates. But with it, performance doesn't just happen. It compounds. This one metric is the absolute lifeline for every consultant. So what exactly is an O2? It's actually beautifully simple. An O2 gets created the second a candidate gets to the interview stage with a client. It's not just a lead, it's not a cold call, it's a real live commercial opportunity. Okay, let's just trace this backwards to see why it's so important. The ultimate goal, of course, is making placements. So where do those placements come from? They come from interviews. And what's the metric that directly tracks live interviews? You got it. O2. It's sitting right there, smack in the middle of the whole revenue process. And that's what brings us to the most crucial point. If you can maintain a healthy, steady pipeline of O2, your growth stops being a roller coaster. It becomes predictable. You're running your desk like a real business, not just reacting to whatever happens. And this quote just cuts right to the heart of it. A high O2 count is not a vanity metric about how many calls you made. It is a precise measure of how effective you are at creating real commercial opportunities. So let's bring this all home. You've got the path, you've got the guide, and you've got the fuel. When you put all those elements together, you get to actually master your own career journey. And this is the result, the real payoff of having a system like this. There's no long-term underperformance. There's no accidental overperformance you can't repeat. There's no mystery about how to get promoted. There are no surprises. Everybody knows exactly where they stand and what they need to do to get to the next level. You know, we started this with the idea that growth is intentional, and that's exactly where we end up. Every single piece of this system, the targets, the coaching, that O2 metric, it's all designed to make one thing true. At Talent Aligned, growth is not something that just happens to you, it's something you achieve deliberately,